The Canadian Taxpayers Federation took a debt clock around the province to raise alarms about the province's increasing debt. You might be wondering, well, what is a debt clock exactly? We have Gage Hobrick with us this morning to tell us more. Good morning and thank you for your time.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So let's dive right into that debt clock. What is it and what does it tell us exactly?
Yeah, so the debt clock is basically a big cube truck. You'll see those U-Haul moving trucks out there, and we've got a big digital screen planted on the side of it that shows the provincial debt in Saskatchewan going up in real time. And we think it's so important to highlight to taxpayers just how fast Saskatchewan's provincial debt is increasing. We're seeing it go up by more than $3,300 every single minute, and taxpayers can't afford to have the government waste any more time without dealing with that huge debt number.
Now, in response to this debt clock, the provincial government told media that Saskatchewan maintains the second lowest net debt to GDP ratio in Canada and remains a national leader in economic growth. But what is your response to that?
Well, there's two things there that are really important. The first is that despite the fact that other provinces are doing much worse, that doesn't let Saskatchewan off the hook with its own problem. Since Scott Moe first became premier in 2018, he's now more than doubled the provincial debt. So that's the first problem. But the second one is actually an opportunity because as well, since Saskatchewan is doing less worse than all the other provinces across the country, that means that here in Saskatchewan, we actually have the biggest opportunity for the government to settle down and actually set up and control spending in order to get the number going back, get the debt number going down and save taxpayers on those huge interest payments they're having to pay every year.
So you say that spending should be controlled right now. What exactly do you think can be done in order to control the spending?
Well, the biggest thing the provincial government needs to do is not blow its own budget. We just saw the recent 2024 public accounts came out recently where the government spent about $1 billion more than it said it was going to. It spent more in 9 out of 11 of its main departments that it said it was budgeted to. So if the government had just stuck to what it said it was going to spend in March of last year, the government would have had $1 billion extra to play with. That money could have been used to help pay down the debt, help to do some more tax relief for taxpayers instead of blowing the budget. So the most important thing the government can do is just stick to its own budget, spend what it says it's going to, instead of spending a bunch more throughout the year.
Gage, is there anything else that you wish the public knew right now about the state of Saskatchewan's debt?
Well, the most important part to highlight is how much the debt is costing us in debt interest payments. When we look at a credit card, you have to pay interest if you're not paying it off every month. It's the same with the government debt. And this year, we're about $878 million in just straight debt interest on the debt. It's important to highlight that because that's money that can't be used for services, can't be used for tax relief, it can't be used for anything. It's just flushed down the drain because the government keeps spending, and it's costing every single Saskatchewanian about $700 this year.
Gage, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.